computer. Okay, yeah, welcome to the success strategy session for 8/27/20. We're moving over to 12 noon East, 3 days a week. I think I can keep up with this. The feedback and participation has been great. I just want to thank all you guys who have been coming every day. Just in case you're wondering, we do post the replays daily to the Facebook group at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. You kind of just got to wade through. It's just the nature of the Facebook group. Stuff gets buried. But if you look, the group has been buzzing. There is a ton going on here. Adam posting something awesome. We had Adam as a guest yesterday on the Facebook catalog listing stuff. And I'll just, just tag your teammates, tell people to get involved. It's not always organized in kind of a beginner's type of way. We understand that. But for those of you guys who are digging in on KV Core and our other products, I feel like the group is a really good way to get fresh ideas. Even if you don't implement them, it's just a great way to catalyze your thinking. Come up with new ways to do business. So that's the idea behind these strategy sessions. We're going to come on. A lot of days I'll have a topic, a specific thing to talk about. Today, I was a little under the gun. It's not as polished as yesterday where we knew what we were going to do. So I'm going to kind of leave it to you guys to guide the discussion in the chat. So chat with anything you'd like to talk about related to KV Core real estate lead generation for me over in the Zoom. And in the meantime, while I wait for some chats, I will just talk a little bit about some of the stuff I've been up to. You know that earlier this week and last week, I was talking about this deals funnel that I was building, and it's generated, let's see, it's generated about 7 leads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, at a cost where I don't want to be, especially for leads that don't come with an email address at $56. Now, this isn't awful. That's not a big spend to get 7 leads and to get 7 people into my database. That's $8 per. But I'm just going to say that I am leaning toward where I always go in 2 directions. First direction is to just go and do Facebook lead ads because I'm going to get the cell number every time, and I'm probably going to do it for less money. So there is a chance that next week you'll see me talking about, this funnel right here, replacing this page with a Facebook lead form, but still having my bridge page afterwards where I do the intro video. All the rest of the funnel would stay the same, but I might swap this out. I'll have the same ad that's getting a cheap cost per click, but I'm gonna do a Facebook lead for it. That's always where I go because getting those accurate cell numbers and being able to auto text from KV Core is just massively useful. But for those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, if you just dig back in the group, I did a bunch of live sessions where I was building out this funnel, and I'll try to include the link with the replay to that. So that's just an update on that. Can't get the retargeting audience to build, but it hasn't been a lot of clicks yet, so I'll just kind of tweak that. I'm not seeing any action on the retargeting ad, but it can take a while before it gets clicks. The other thing that I'm going to try is I'm going to actually try not going to a landing page or lead form at all and just send the traffic straight into my web page so that I get a lot of people on the retarget. And I've had success with this in other areas in real estate and elsewhere where you don't even ask for the lead. You just build audiences and then you retarget later to get the lead. So just some stuff and some thinking, maybe a little more advanced for those of you guys who know what I'm talking about with the retargeting, where you don't get the lead, you build Facebook audiences, and then you market to them. So we have a question from Rick here. Thank you, Rick, for that question. Just give me a second here to get rid of my drawing. There we go. And Rich is asking, with smart campaigns, can Mailchimp emails be part of the drip, or do they have to be set up differently? That's a good question. So you can't natively put the Mailchimp emails into KV Core. So, if you have a third-party mailing service. But what you can do is you can use Zapier and you can use smart campaigns to send your leads over into Mailchimp and trigger emails. It might be a little bit of a task to set this up. So the 2 scenarios would be, one, you say, hey, every lead I get in KV Core with this hashtag or whatever it might be, I just want to send them into Zapier and let Zapier do the, Adam's popping in. Hey, Adam. Send them into Zapier and do the follow-up straight from Mailchimp. So you would send every lead with a Zap from KV Core that way. That is totally an option. And you could also use, I believe, the API Nation set up to Mailchimp that's in the marketplace. And that would be if you just want to send every new lead in right away. The second option would be to build a smart campaign where all that smart campaign did was whenever, say, you had a lead with a specific hashtag, just do one here, that there's an event in there, so send to Mailchimp. Mailchimp. And then within this campaign, I forgot what I call it. Could I call it send to Mailchimp? I could have actions that zap the lead over. I'm giving you a long answer here, Rich. But I could have actions that send the lead over to Mailchimp. So I could do Zapier like that. And then I would have zaps that collect the lead information. And maybe you would have a Mailchimp campaign that only sent one email. Does that make sense? That would be the really long way to do it. So, you know, what it looks like is here in Zapier, make a zap. KV Core would be my source. And then you have this campaign action option here. So I'll just pick KV Core account. And then you're going to put the Zap ID from your Smart campaign in there, and that's how you tie it up. So, Stephen, I'm not talking about the lead drop box. Rich was asking about, well, the Zapier key is in the lead drop box, Stephen, so I'll show you that in a second. But Rich was asking about, can you send MailChimp emails as part of Smart campaigns in KV Core? So I'm giving kind of the granular long way. I would probably, the recommendation would be, is you decide, hey, I'm either going to use MailChimp to send my email follow-up campaigns, or I'm going to use KV Core and not try to mix them up because you're going to have lots of headache there. Hey, Adam, what do you think? Are you on mute?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I would definitely recommend what Ryan said. Just pick one and stick with it. The advanced email editor that's in KV Core is very similar to Mailchimp email builder for templates. So you can accomplish quite a bit from that perspective inside KV Core, and basically save yourself some headache and money and trying to tie everything in together, just to try and use as much as you can natively in KV Core.
Yeah, so you'll save money. But if you want to use MailChimp, you know, send the leads over. If you want to do the complicated, hairy way where you send an email here or there, you can do it from within campaigns. So.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, like you said, is, you know, make a decision of where your follow-up needs to be. But if you want to have, like, if you want to basically use KV Core for lead follow-up and not necessarily lead nurture, you can set a webhook to, when you get a new lead in KV Core, to send that contact over to Mailchimp. And then you can do, let's say you have like a bi-weekly or like a monthly market report email kind of thing going on over there, where you nurture them long term there a different way and just use KV Core for like your actual leads and past clients. Then that would make a lot of sense to, you know, send them over, and you can just simply do, you don't even have to do a webhook there. You can just do a quick zap right in Zapier and send the lead over that way.
Yep. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for jumping in. I forgot I left you on from yesterday. Since you're here, how's it going with the campaigns? Have you had time to have traffic go to them?
So I'm still in review for the ad.
Yeah.
It takes a while. I've had it as quick as 5 minutes. I've had it take like 2 days. So it should go. And one thing that I noted, I actually had to duplicate the ad and make a change. There's, like, when you are creating the ad, it'll default to say catalog sales as the objective. You have to change that to lead generation, and then you get the lead ad form. So the first one was approved and started running, and I was kind of checking it after a while, and I didn't get anything, and I saw that it was set to catalog sales. I'm like, well, they're not going to buy a house right directly from Facebook, right? The process is a little more complicated than that. So I was checking out the ad, and that's when I figured out that I had to set it up as I had to change that by default into basically lead generation, which gave me access to the lead ad form. So once that new one gets approved, I just checked it right now and it's still not approved, it's in review. Once that new one gets going and starts kicking off, hopefully over the weekend, I'll be able to get some leads off of it. But
great, yeah. And for those of you guys who are wondering, yesterday, if you look at the replay, Adam showed us how he was running the catalog home listing ads, and it's still a work in progress. I will mention that it is a hairy process. We may actually be able to offer that in a way similar to Property Boost sometime soon, where you click a button and that goes live. So just to tease that is something we've been thinking about. All right, so we're getting a bunch of questions. Rich is to follow up on the Mailchimp. He was looking to be able to email out videos that they create and post to YouTube. Yeah, you could definitely embed your YouTube videos. The video itself never shows in the email, but you can have an image of the video. You could use Core Video, which is an add-on. But when you build an email template, I'll just do one real quick, and you go to the advanced editor, Rich, you can just pick the video block, I believe. I haven't done this in a while here. And if you add the video URL from YouTube, I just grabbed a random one. I don't know what I grabbed here. All right, but we're just gonna grab, and it'll do that, and it'll give you, oh my, it'll give you a video image of the preview and then link to YouTube. You also can use our Core Video add-on as well. So, and also, not to downplay our advanced editor, I have always found in the past that using the basic editor and just dropping a YouTube link with text does the trick too. You just say, hey, click my video, go here, and people will click over to YouTube. It's kind of a trusted link, and Gmail a lot of times will expand it out and show the YouTube video as well. So, Andrew's asking, I do not have Zapier in my list to add actions. Oh, interesting. What company are you with, Andrew? I wonder. You're saying that you don't have that inside of a campaign. You can't add a Zapier ID? So have you ever seen that, Adam? I haven't seen that.
No, it should be in there.
It should be in there, but there are some cases with certain companies for whatever reason, compliance or whatever they have going on, some features get disabled. So if it's possible that's going on, I'm going to lean toward it's probably not. But here's where it should be. It should be in the campaign actions right down here. And
Andrew said he's with the EXP. So, and I've been in hundreds of different EXP, KB Core backends for other agents, and I've never not seen it. Even in other companies, I've helped probably, I don't know, close to like 50 or so different brokerage firms that are using KB Core, and I've never not seen it in the campaign dropdown. So, my opinion, I would say that's a support ticket thing, just to double check that everything is running smooth.
Yeah, I'll look in your account after. I won't do it now, but after I hang up, Andrew, I'll look in your account and shoot you an email. Let you know what I figure out. But you can also use support. Dan's asking, is there a document? Oh, that shows the various ways to set up KB Core for campaigns. Seems like there's a million different ways. Yeah, it's, the idea here, this is I don't know, razor's edge or something, but this is a big plus and a big negative with a system like KB Core. It does a whole lot. So there isn't like, hey, here's the one thing you do with the system. It's designed to be very flexible and allow you to integrate in so many different ways. I think what you're looking for is sort of the comprehensive guide to smart campaigns and all the different things you can do, right? So we don't have that. I've done a few webinars. If you look in the webinar replay library about campaigns, we do have our help doc, which I'll try to drop to you guys here. So if you go to help.insiderealestate.com and search smart campaigns, here's a complete guide to smart campaigns. But I'm not sure this is going to get you all the way where you want it to be. I'll drop this to everybody who's watching live. Right there. Dan, it's easier if you say, hey, I want to do this. And we can say, cool. Because usually around every kind of marketing thing you're trying to do with system like KB Core, there's an end goal you're trying to do. I want a campaign that incubates sellers and turns them into, listings, that kind of thing. And we kind of point you, or I need a campaign that sends a bunch of YouTube videos, something like that. Zach is asking, do you need to copy a YouTube video from your own YouTube channel? No, you can use any YouTube video. And that's a great hack, guys. I talked about this in the recruiting course that we have in the learning portal, but YouTube's a wonderful way to use other people's content. So how to buy your first house. I'll give you an example. So now you're going to find a lot of other realtors, but if you can find somebody who's doing like a first-time home buyer tips that isn't a competitor, right? And it might take me a minute to find that, but I'm sure it's in here. Somebody's doing it. Like, here we go, Bigger Pockets, which is a big real estate investing thing. If you look at the title and you look at the number of views, he's got 1 million views on this. How to find and buy a foreclosed home. And this is what these sessions are for, guys. So I'm going to go in a lot of directions. But you set me off on a tangent here. You could take this title and build a landing page in KV Core. So I'm going to go to Lead Engine. And you could go in here and you could do that title. Ooh. Copy how to find and buy a foreclosed home. A foreclosed home. And then I might put, skip the ad. Just bear with me. I need to watch the ad for a reason. Skip ad.
Foreclosures can be.
Okay, it's a 10-minute training. I like to get specific on the length of the training. Free 10-minute. And what you can do, you can redirect people to that video. Now, what I would definitely do is put a bridge page between, as I've been talking about, where you put a video and say, hey, thanks for opting in to learn how to buy and find a foreclosed home. Just click the button below to go over to a video from Bigger Pockets. You see, you do the bridge there where they'll explain it. And in the meantime, I've emailed you a list of all the foreclosed homes in St. Pete, Florida. So I know that wasn't your question, but you kicked me off on that tangent. And the point being that you can use any YouTube video out there. It's publicly shareable and there's implicit permission, so to speak. I mean, definitely give credit, mention that Bigger Pockets did it, but you can do that.
One of the things I like to do too with that idea is use the video view, make a squeeze page for the short sales and foreclosures with the registration set to immediately, and then make that the call to action link. Talk about that way they have the video, they have the information, they have education first, and then the call to action is basically start searching now, and then you can when they click the call to action button, they'll get taken over to the squeeze page, prompted to register. So you're giving information and value up front before you're asking for information. And if they made it through the video and they're clicking that button, chances are they're gonna register.
Beautiful. Yeah. So this is kind of like the reverse squeeze idea, where you don't squeeze right away. You offer the value first, as Adam said. So what I'll do, I'm building it here on the screen, is I'll go to my deal links page that has all these kind of deals and foreclosures on it, and I'll set that as my URL. And as Adam said, my ad would say, hey, free video, how to find and buy a foreclosed home. They get the Bigger Pockets. And then my button says, see some local foreclosures now. And then I can take them over to my list of foreclosures. And I might be putting too many steps in between. So I'll copy the actual foreclosures link and I'll make that be after opt-in. And I could have built the squeeze link so it requires registration and does the hashtagging and everything. But yeah, great point, Adam. So like that. And I promise you this would work. I'm pretty confident at it. Like an ad to this off of Facebook, free video, how to find and buy a foreclosed home. You'll get cheap clicks and then it will bridge people over your kind of pre-education into your KV Core page. That would work.
Yeah, this is also very effective if you have a short, I'm talking like 12 to 15 second video showing a little bit of your listing, and then call to action button is a single property squeeze page of your listing with immediate registration. That will get a lot of lead conversions as well. That's one of my good ones, especially for coming soon promotions. That's your ticket right there.
Yeah, I think we did one called the door teaser approach. It might be like a year old. I'll drop the link to everybody. Control F teaser maybe. Yeah, the door teaser video lead generation approach. Kind of what you're saying, Adam. Like you stand outside the house. I'll drop this to everybody. You stand outside the house. You stand at the door, or you just show a little bit of the inside to make them opt in for more.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do basically like walk half the front yard, have somebody pop the front door open as you're entering, so it looks like automatic, right? Like pop the door open, show the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, cut the camera, and then your landing page ad copy needs to describe something that they cannot see in the video. Something like you know, wait till you see the outdoor kitchen. Well, they're going to have to click that link to see it because they're going to replay that video and say, well, I didn't see any outdoor kitchen. So it's that teasing them with what they want to get, what they can't see in the video. They need to click on the call to action link, and then they register when to see the property, and then they got all the
Yeah, I'm trying to see here if we had an example of one of those pages already built, but I don't think we do. Definitely watch the webinar. And Adam, if you have any, maybe drop in the, if you happen to have any of those, drop it in the group. You can see. But that's, yeah, to advertise a coming soon, or even like a fixer or a banker or an REO, it's something you have permission to market. Definitely a great approach. All right. Let me go back here through the questions. So yeah, Dan is trying to figure out what things I should be doing and things are not as valuable. You know, we're getting a lot of this right now. And part of it's our fault because, you know, in the group, there's so much different information. But really all you need, let's go back to our doc here. This is kind of how I would think in terms of building funnels. All you need is a traffic source. This is basic internet marketing, a lead capture, I would call it element. It's not always a page, right? A lead capture element and follow up. So if you think in these terms, and we'll just call it the lead capture offer with element. So you might construct this. Start here. I'm making things up as I go. You don't really need, but first thing you think about is your angle. So the angle equals type of property, type of buyer, type of customer. So let's go translate this down here. That would be, let's build a funnel, new construction, home buyer. That's a little general. It could also be new construction, move up home buyer. You want to get really specific like that. So bullets, traffic source. Let's say, okay, I'm going to use Facebook ads. Great. My lead capture offer is a free weekly list of new construction homes with 2,000 plus square feet. Because I'm niching down to move up. And then my follow-up is going to be automatic listing alerts, smart campaign, and retargeting. And you can kind of, if you think in these terms, you can build little mini business systems using parts of KV Core as needed. So you might find you need the landing page generator here as you build the lead capture page. You need smart campaigns here, right? You're going to use the new construction squeeze link to give them the list and so on.
Ryan, I just threw a link to a landing page example in the chat there. So this is one that I made. I used the MLS photo for the background, and then I put a video in there. The video they wanted was their virtual, basically, video walkthrough tour with it. So that's what I had in the, that's what I had for the example. So instead of using a full video walkthrough, just use, take a short video of, show half the house, show just the main rooms, entrance, kitchen, living room, dining room, and that's it. And then use that as your video to give them a little tease. And then that call to action, but this property closed already, but that call to action went over to that single property squeeze page on my KV Core website. That's what it did. And then that was going to be that one I think I delayed for like two property views, just to kind of give them a little tease. But this is the kind of the concept is, get that photo in the background, a little bit of call to action stuff, and then throw your video in there and click the button, and that'll be a squeeze page. Yeah,
I love the photo coming soon in the background. It kind of works really good for coming soon.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So in this case, what Adam did was, let's translate this because I think this will help people who are overwhelmed. So in this case, the angle is get details about a listing, traffic source. How'd you market this? I assume Facebook.
Yeah, I do. You can just post on your business page. You can run Facebook ad. Excuse me. You can just run a Facebook ad. Yeah, postcard. Here's one of the things too that people need to realize about postcard stuff. Use the call capture, the custom text code feature in KV Core on all your print material, and have it go to this listing. I like to use generic codes. So like Atom1, Atom2, Atom3, you can just change the MLS ID information as you rotate through listings, and you can use the same campaign and same code for everything. It's just going to keep on matching up with the current one. So yeah, you can, yeah, definitely social media, definitely use the text codes whenever possible, especially on print, and you'll get a lot better leads with it that way. So
Yeah, I actually have this right here. Here's a card with, you know, it's a seller lead generation test, but basically this is a KV Core text code, as Adam's saying. So you just text message. That code actually doesn't do anything except it says, cool, what's your address? So show you. What Adam's referring to, we always assume, Adam, that everybody's used the system a lot, but we do have a mix of beginners here as well. It's the smart number section, and you can see where I have right here, home value report. Wow, I am super glad this came up because I changed the code after I sent the postcard or at some point, and I have the wrong code there. But basically what it says is, thanks for requesting your report. What's your street address and zip code? And then when somebody replies, you can then send them an RPR report or something. I definitely did that. I'm going to fix this right here, guys. Home report. There we go. The card hasn't hit the mail yet. I would have been scratching my head in a few days wondering why it bombed, and it would have been just straight up user error right there, sending people the wrong code. But yeah, great point, Adam. Definitely get the QR codes involved. I found definitely more in print, but you can do those in Facebook and digital ads as well, especially in line inside of videos. You can use them to tell people to text. All right, let's see if we're missing anybody here. So yeah, Dan, you know, bang for buck, property boost. I'm just, you know, if you're just curious, like what to do, property boost, get permission to market listings. You're gonna get as many leads as possible with a real cell number. Set up automatic listing alerts as the follow-up, and just be patient. You know, but the numbers just work out. Property boost is designed to be kind of the easy button, and it's proving out. I mean, the cost per lead is usually great. Now, don't expect property boost leads to jump in your car this weekend. It's a Facebook lead, so they take a while to incubate. But if you're in it for the long term, you know, when you're talking $3, $4, $6, $7 a lead at scale, the numbers really work well in real estate. You know, to get a closing. You know, at a 1%, you're doing really well.
And you will get a mix of people with Facebook ads, just like with Google. You know, they on average they may be a little bit faster, but you're going to get tire kickers and you're going to get people that are hot to trot right now. I referred to a listing that I got from a Facebook ad that I ran, came in the CRM about just under a month ago. He was waiting for road construction to stop on his street so he could list his house. He sent me a text on Sunday saying, "Hey, my street's cleared. We're ready to list." Referred it out to an agent, and it's going to go live later this week. That was a Facebook ad, cost me $4. They were ready to list within 30 days. They're in there, but don't count on them to always be that fast. Like Ryan said, you prepare to follow up for a little bit, and especially on these, anything internet-wise, they're trained to look for videos. So if you go with the core video and make some follow-up templates with video and either mix them in or do all of it. Actually, if you can put in the time, the best practice for this is, because emails and texts are fine, but if you can do a video only drip campaign with a smart campaign, you're going to get a lot better engagement and a lot better open rates doing that with core video than you will emails or text messages.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. The key here is probably not to obsess and spend time on the front end of the lead gen. Use ideas that we're sharing, but you could, if you just focused on property boost, but put all your effort and mental bandwidth into creating really good videos, as Adam's saying, and having a really good follow-up campaign that lets people get to know you, there's lots of ROI there. Couldn't agree more. So don't stress about building landing pages and running your own Facebook ads. Use something like a property boost or whatever you're using off the shelf, and focus more on the follow-up video in particular. So I just want to point out, because I don't think I've ever mentioned it to this audience on the live webinars, we kind of silently dropped this recently with Property Boost. So I haven't even tried it yet, but you can now do, if you have a price reduced listing and you want to announce the price reduction, you can choose that option and the copy will change in the ad. And we know that price reductions get a nice click through off the ad. So also something cool that you can do, with a seller who's kind of getting frustrated, they just reduced the price. You say, okay, great, you reduced the price. I'm going to go run a Facebook ad letting the world know. So that's right up there up top. And we still have the open house option as well. So, your drawings. Great, Zach, yeah, Zach got 20 leads. Where would you put the video? So the video Adam's talking about, this is in the follow-up. So, ideal would be somebody opts in for the best would be they opt in for a Property Boost ad, and you have a smart campaign going out from KV Core, and the first video says, literally the first title of the first email says, video tour of 123 Main Street. Or, it could be just you using the screencasting part of core video, and you're just walking through the house. That will get people to open the email and gives you an opportunity. So answer, put the video inside of the smart campaign. You could also use it in retargeting if you'd like. If you want to go a little further. Cool, how are we doing? Half hour in? Thank you everybody for the great feedback. Adam, glad you popped in. I feel like it's an echo chamber when I do these myself. So the more I can get guests on, the better. So I do appreciate you being here. I just want to say that. You're giving me stuff to talk about. All right, well, if there's nothing else, everybody, I know we just fire hosed you, but that's kind of the nature of these sessions. Lots of different stuff. I'll get the recording up live. Have a great weekend. Steven, if you have a question, just ask me the question. I see you raising your hand, but let us know what you need before we go. And definitely just check out the replays of these. They are at insiderealestate.com/webinars. You can see all the replays. I put them in a playlist right here on YouTube in order. We have the one we did with Adam yesterday, all in order. And they also show up in the Facebook group. We'll just post them there from day to day. But yeah, thanks again, Adam. And we'll get going. Oh, how do you use lead drop box? Okay, let's jump into that one real quick. So the lead drop box. This is, which aspect of it are you talking about? The email address or Zapier? So this is basically, the long and short of it, this is designed to be where you can go to get leads from third parties coming into KV Core, or to hook up Zapier so you can send leads out or receive them in. So that's the brief summary, but basically you'll give this email address if you're using the email drop box to whatever lead provider you're using. Hope that helps, Stephen. But if you want to continue with more specifics about that, just go into the Facebook group, say, hey, I'm trying to do this with lead Dropbox, and we can definitely follow up with you there. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Tuesday at 12 noon East for another session. And you've got tons of replays to go through if you need more between now and then. Thanks again, Adam.
Yep, you bet. See ya.